Make some blueberry fruit leather. 2 cups of fruit will give you about an 8 by 6 inch square sheet of fruit leather. You can do this on a dehydrator tray or in the oven. Blueberries are all cleaned. I'm going to puree them and then have a taste test and see if I want to use only the blueberries or if I want to add some sweetener, some citrus, or maybe some almond extract. So let's see what we've got. I have pureed my blueberries and I'm just gonna taste it and see what I think because these are fresh blueberries and you're gonna get a little variation every time. Oh man, that is so fruity. I do feel like I want a little bit of a sweetness to it, so I'm gonna add a little bit of honey. For my 2 cups of puree, I'm adding about half a tablespoon of honey. I'm also going to add a little bit of almond extract. Flavor does concentrate in dehydrated food, so I'm just going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract. Give it another whirl and have another taste test. That's going to be so good. Now I'm just going to pour it out on my dehydrator tray. I'm just going to make a nice square using an offset spatula. Let's make a nice even layer, about 1/8 or 2 millimeters thick. Done. So I'm going to pop it into the dehydrator at 135 degrees, and it's going to take about 6 to 8 hours to dehydrate. Here it goes. It's time to have a look. The first thing I look across the surface of the fruit leather and see where it looks wet or dry. The other test that I do is I take my clean hands and I gently press on top and feel, is it sticky? Is it tacky? Is there any residue on my hand? And you can see that there certainly is. The other way of checking is by peeling back the fruit leather and see, is there any debris left behind? And I see here that there is. So once again, I know it's not ready. Because I am able to actually peel it back all the way, I can now take this and flip it over and then dry it from this side. I can also rotate my tray and alternate positions in the dehydrator for more even dehydrating. Back in the dehydrator it goes. So here's a final check on the dryness of your fruit leather. You want to make sure that it's nice and even throughout, that you don't see any wet spots. Some of the shininess comes from the honey that we added. It's also a little bit sticky, but again, we did use that honey. The edges are starting to crisp up a little bit. That's also a sign. It's easily removed from the liner and we can roll it up and cut it no problem. So those are the signs of a dry and ready to go fruit leather. So we're gonna roll it up and then using kitchen shears, cut off the width of strips you'd like, or use a big knife and go ahead and cut your rolls. I like to store them in an airtight container. If you do have a lot of temperature fluctuation in your house, you can also store them in the freezer for a constant, consistent temperature. These will store for months, although they are so yummy, I bet they won't last.